Hey, we're here with another full gameplay. Now, I did not get counterpicked here. I picked Gnar into Kennen, and that's because for the beginning of Season 8, I'm trying to just do a quick master push. I am pretty confident that if I apply the things that I encourage students to apply as a player myself, that I can hit master pretty quickly at the beginning of the season. I've got a bet with a friend for a beer that I'll get it within a month of the season start, so should be easy beer. Anyway, I'm a little out of practice. I've been a little burnt out recently. I haven't played much, and when I have been playing, I haven't really been playing to maximum. Really, to my best. I haven't been playing as well. But right now, I'm trying to practice Riven Vlad Gnar, keeping a champion pool at a normal size, which is something I usually don't do. One of the biggest things I do as a player that I would encourage a student not to do, because I play for different reasons than a lot of my students who just want to get as good as they can and improve as much. So, with that being said, I'm going to be playing for the purpose of improving, getting better at stuff like not missing those 2 CS in a row because of mouse accuracy. So the Gnar versus Kennen matchup is pretty favored for Kennen the whole way, but it's not incredibly favored. Gnar can easily win just by playing around minions and stuff smarter. But mainly my goal is to make it through lane phase. If I can CS reasonably well without putting myself in danger for ganks and while leaving him open to ganks, with the caveat of I want to be applying pressure when there is the possibility of my jungle invading, like right now. So I'm going to start pushing the wave a bit more. And actually this is something, because I was talking, I didn't notice, and that's a really big misplay. I could have been trading a lot harder this whole time. I'm an airy Kennen, or an airy Gnar, and he's a spellbook Kennen. And I have shield, which is a lot stronger for early game trades. So I basically just let him bypass the lane phase when I didn't have to. Or at least the early lane phase. Definitely greeted there. I'm gonna die. Didn't run my potion fast enough. Wait, no, did I already run my potion? That's suspicious. This game is on my Smurf, by the way. Yeah. Ah, fuck. Out of practice, like I said. I wanted to buy a potion and a control ward. So thus far, I've made quite a few mechanical errors, which is the one biggest thing I think that I'm gonna have to eliminate if I want to climb. The other thing is I made a pretty big fundamental error in playing the laning phase, which I don't think would be acceptable for me. Different players have different strengths, but if I'm going to win, I shouldn't have pushed there, but now I'm gonna have to shove it in because I killed the first one. But for me, I can't make fundamental errors. I'm not mechanical enough of a player to hope, even if I improve mechanically, to really carry myself to master with that. So for me specifically, I can't be letting myself make silly errors like misplaying the early lane phase. That shouldn't be something that I ever misplay. It's very contained, and I should probably shore up scrying the wrong location. I didn't mean to do that. Alright, Kha'Zix showed bot, Victor's mid. There's no possibility of getting ganked, so I'm going to continue to hold my wards. Now he's level 6, and one of the many reasons that Kennen fits pretty well as a counter of Gnar. Really, Kennen counters Gnar at all stages of the game, which is one of the reasons you see him picked so often into Gnar at higher levels. He isn't just like a lane counter, like a Pantheon Fiora or something. He's a full-on, at level 6 when Gnar starts to really look to actually jump in, Kennen has one of the best disengage tools in the game. That was a bad rock, I shouldn't have thrown that. And throughout the game, he gets he just has advantages. Like in lane phase, he has a little bit of extra poke, about around the same trading patterns. With that being said, it's obviously not a hard counter. Alright, and again we see everyone got creep blocks, so I had to use my W there for the last hit. Oh, hit him on the return. Fuck. Oh. If his Zhonya's had expired about 0.1 seconds earlier, I would have gotten the kill. But I'm fine with that. All I'm doing is testing my champion limits. I could have just disengaged and looked to Q him and time it with his Zhonya's, but I had a bit of a slow reaction time there. So I went on an adaptive helm now, because the lane is in a very bad spot. We have great scaling. I wouldn't say we hard outscale or anything, but it's not like we lose the game off scaling. So I'm content building for my team. I don't like this. Hey, nice. That deals a lot of upfront damage. I actually don't have a timer on Kennen's TP. I think he has it? Okay, let me think about the way the lane played out. Man, I actually don't know. These commentaries do use a bit of a mental energy. Alright, there we go. Shittiest spellbook. Let's say 3 minutes 30 at 9:30. And I accidentally took a point in my E. Yeah. I'd rather use my ward for mid lane. Probably didn't actually have to run my potion there. I could have probably saved it. Alright. So, and I could have been winning the lane phase, honestly, if I just used my boomerang and just sort of outplayed him. Because I am a better mechanical player than this guy. Which is not typically a win condition that I have in my own elo. But definitely one of the main things that I am practicing whenever I'm smurfing. Because, and I recommend that. Smurf accounts are good for practicing mechanics. Macro, typically not so much. Unless you're at an elo where everyone knows that you're on a smurf and will follow you. Because but we're talking about smurfing if you're a high challenger player. And you're smurfing in challenger, low challenger, high master. Because that's really the only elo that will fit that requirement. So could maybe get away with it in like high diamond, but if your smurf is in high diamond and you're like a celebrity player or something, but typically yeah, smurfs are for mechanical practice and that's about it, or fun, but I don't have that much fun personally stomping noobs relative to me. It's to each their own, but I think if you want to do that, there's a lot of ways you can do that without creating a whole new account. That's what Flex is for, right? creating an account, because that's how people get new accounts. Nothing like leveling. Only takes like 200 hours. I've mostly, when I have played Gnar, I've mostly been running like press the attack, and I tried out fleet footwork after it got buffed, and I acknowledge that it's not as strong even after the airy nerfs. So I'm trying to learn the airy Gnar, and definitely the biggest difference is that your single boomerang harass is insanely strong. Like, it makes you go for a lot less 3 hits than you would on normal Gnar, a lot less all-ins in mini form. In mega form, your all-ins are probably stronger, or at least comparable. And it makes sense. If you're looking at like the meta tanks, it's really hard to hit 3 hits on them without them getting a lot of return damage. Like Cho'Gath, Maokai, Orin are all champions that you rarely go 3 hits against. That was just a whiff. And I'm absolutely fine with just getting pushed in, but not not pushed in under turret. I can afford an adaptive helm, which helps a lot against their team. It helps against Kennen ult, it helps against Victor Storm. And Gnar is one of the worst users. Wow, that was unfortunate. Gnar is one of the worst users of Spirit Visage in the game because he has no healing. Having a Nami on my team, Having a Nami on my team does increase the value of Spirit Visage, but relative to yeah, I see you, dude. He's dead. Alright, and that's why I was happy just keeping the lane there. It's a lot more valuable than pressure to set up for jungle ganks. The Silo for sure. He swapped for... Maybe no Magic Mantle would have been better actually, because I'm playing a very passive lane phase. We have to watch out for bot lane roaming top. Maybe no Magic Mantle would be good because I'm playing such a passive lane phase that it's actually the health doesn't really help me as much as maybe more defensive stats would, which would amplify with my double on trade regen. Because you'd be doing less damage, and the health that you gain is a static amount, so. And AP Kennen starts to fall off as far as like the trade, or the poking power goes, unless he can land his Qs, obviously. Now, the other thing is that I start building more rage as the game goes on. So, wow, he walked right into it. Well, that's unfortunate. There was nothing indicating Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix technically should have been topside, but there was nothing really indicating that he was there. He was just in the right spot at the right time. Now, that didn't actually make any sense as a play, but I'm just testing mechanics. Or testing champion limits and stuff. I think that that all-in would not have been successful for like a kill or a flash, but I think it would have resulted in a fairly favorable trade. And Gnar is the weakest out of my 3 champions that I'm trying to practice. Riven, Vlad, Gnar right now. Vlad feels like Freelo. I've been playing Riven since Season 2. I've been playing Vlad for a few seasons too, but not nearly as much. Vlad's probably the strongest right now just because of his the way he's played. It's very easy to just survive through a lane phase, and then people don't understand the value of all-inning over and over and over again. A champion like Vlad that has sustain and because there's so much going on, I'm just trading to try to build up rage. Maybe I did that a little too fast. No? But I think that's fair. Okay, second he flashes, I can TP. Oh wait, I didn't even get the... God damn it, it honestly looked like the rock was gonna hit him. But this is okay, we can dive. Well, we can dive. Depends on what they want to do. They clearly don't want to dive. There's no way he can hold this with just him. Yeah, he's backup, and the backup is a Victor. So, all right. Zhonya's is annoying, but we got Zhonya's CD and the old CD. Maybe I can catch him here. No. I probably should have taken the honey fruit there. Never mind. Oh no. Ooh, that was way closer than it should have been. Alright, we're fine. I can get a cleaver. Maybe I should have continued to get my adaptive helm, but the purchase of the longsword and all that earlier sort of made it a little bit more advantageous to move towards the cleaver side as the game is getting into more movement. Although I think reasonably it would be better for me. Typically think of adaptive helm as a team fight item, and cleaver as a split push item. Obviously, in a 1v1, adaptive helm works pretty well as a split push item too against Kennen. And because it is AP Kennen, I can split push against him pretty much all game. I'm gonna go ahead and look mid though. I probably should have gone faster if at all. Oh no. I wasted a little bit of time backing off there. Okay, I gave Cat something to jump to. Jump away myself. We should be fine here. Oh no. Boomerang got blocked by Kha'Zix. Didn't reach Kennen. That's unfortunate. We were definitely at an advantage kiting back, but committed too hard after we got the well, after I got the chunk on him. I thought that would allow us to churn it, and it definitely did not. Kha'Zix is very strong right now. Alright. Need to start getting vision around Baron. Next dragon's an air drake. I really don't think it's a particularly important drake even for plot players compared to the Baron at 24 minutes. Plus we've got some pretty fast Baron takes on both sides. So I'm not gonna do that. With Vayne on bot side, like if Vayne was here, then we could try to sneak it, but yep, that ward would have seen us while we were sneaking it. Wait, was that ward down before? No, it's a trinket ward. Kha'Zix has yellow trinket. I think he's the one who placed the ward there. Yeah. Alright, so we have good vision control around Baron, thanks to yours truly. And now I'm just going to defend it, keep my Mega up like this. Alright, that's a catch. Oh, that's good double stun right there. Pick up my rock. Oh, that's really unfortunate. That was about as good of a team fight as I could have gotten regarding stun targets. Blue Smite caught me at the end. Gnar, you position, please? Ugh. So that was a really awesome stun. That's pretty much the best thing I could have hoped for. I stunned their Kennen that was on our Katarina, and then I got another. It's an interesting request by Shyvana, because that's exactly what I did. Oh no, fuck. Speaking of having terrible mechanics. Wow, that was bad. There was pretty much no sequence of events that I could have played that would have lost me that. That was actually like a trick. To be like actively trying and hitting him and not kill him. So I threw the rock early. Because it has such a long windup, it requires pretty good timing. And I did not get that good timing. And actually, we've got one, so I'm only going to go on. I think they'll clear this. And the ultimate, had it gone off earlier, had I not like walked away and then walked back in, I underestimated how tanky it was and my ability to just sit under turret and tank it for the entire Zhonya's. That was actually painful, but that's exactly why I'm playing Gnar on my Smurf right now. Because I can still win games while making those terrible calls. But not these. The flash there. And even, I'll still die actually. Katarina's dead instead of me, I guess. Vayne's not here for this fight, so I'm suiciding for this. Kha'Zix just sort of got to walk up to Vayne. I had to pick and choose between Kha'Zix and the double stun, and I valued the double stun more highly. If Kha'Zix went on, well, if I went on Kha'Zix, then Victor would have gotten it. I might have greeted for my life a little too much. Maybe I should have retreat pinged the Katarina. And there was actually a window where we probably could have escaped with everyone. Had Katarina just sort of surprised them. Alright, now their melee, or their AD carries are dealing a lot of damage now, and I have 0 armor. Don't even have tabbies. Both these items are really good, but alright, let's greed for it. There's a chance that they don't run straight Baron after backing early. And in fact, their backs were pretty late, so. Plus we have a very fast Baron, so. I don't know. That chance was not recognized. There's no way we win that. I'm not gonna ult for that. gonna get my back stopped? Oh, never mind. I don't know what he was doing. He sort of cheesed it. Motherfucker. I think I'm gonna play another Gnar game after this to stop doing this shit. Like that shit. Vein? Never mind. No point. There's really no point in actually doing that on my part. I should have ran to get vision or something else. Katarina was farming it, so. Alright, should use a control word to get some vision down defensively, because they can still siege pretty easily. Probably should have done Krugs, although Katarina should have done it a lot more than me. People just do not farm jungle. And the Silo, mid plat, by the way. And they don't chill out either, holy shit. Oh, I thought you said that was obvious, sorry. But no, that was obvious, Shyvana. Yeah, it was obvious, Nami. That's why you had to let him die. Alright. The game's, I mean, should be over, but, you know, Kennen's top. Like people do. Alright, now it's over. Yep. Alright, so there you have it. That's a game where I fed my ass off and got flamed by my team. And I'm a Diamond 2 Smurfing plat theory, so don't feel too bad about individual losses and stuff. That can be the moral of this, and hopefully you'll learn some other stuff too. Peace.